Wow, wide open Wednesday already. You know, I complain sometimes that those weekends fly by. I think 2 days of the work week goes by faster than 2 days of the weekend. Just my thoughts. Not that the weekend goes by slow. I mean, Friday afternoon to Monday morning is about 15 minutes. But Sunday night to Wednesday afternoon seems a lot quicker. Anyway, already heading towards the weekend, New Orleans. Mario, they did an interesting study. They took people like your age and younger, like 30 and under, stuck them in a room, group, said, we're going to do this study. You're going to get paid for it. Then they had another room down the hall where everyone was like 60 plus. Got a little, thing we're going to do. You guys are going to get paid for it.
All right. Russian prison experiment vibes.
Yep.
I like it.
So they're sitting there waiting. About 15 minutes or so, the folks come back, and the under 30 crowd's kind of, restless in their seats. They ask, how long have you been sitting here? And they said 25 minutes, 28 minutes, 32 minutes. Then they asked the over 60 crowd how long they'd been sitting there. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes. And it was 15 minutes for each. So, time goes by a lot slower for young folks and goes by a lot faster as you get older. Or so it seems, Mario.
So it seems. I would think that phones have a lot to do with this. I don't know why. I don't know if you're familiar with the Netflix documentary. I think it's called The Social Dilemma. Yeah,
like to blow this thing up,
dude. Like I had to make an effort because I am that age. I fall in that age group. I have to make an effort to not look at my phone and look at all clips and just get that instant dopamine fix. Right?
No, exactly.
So if you not having your phone alone, I think would make the time go by a lot slower.
Yesterday, I literally went to a store 5 minutes from my house, and I got in the phone and I got in the phone, got in my car and forgot the phone. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to not go back in the house to get it. And that was hard to do. When I pulled out of the driveway, going to the store, I thought about something happening and not having my phone, literally. Like there was this time period of anxiety, worrying about not taking my phone for a 5-minute trip to the store. I mean, literally, I was back in 7 to 9 minutes. It's right down the street. And I didn't have my phone. That's the first time in months, year plus, that I've gone somewhere outside the house in my car without my phone and was legitimately nervous. Now, this thing is a blessing. It's a computer. The phone is the incidental. It is a computer you've got with you. You can go online, you can check email, and you can do a bunch of stuff online, and you have a phone and video phone and all of that. But it is a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare too.
It's a lot. You feel naked without your phone.
No, you do. It's ridiculous. It's like part of how you are. Now, Mario, talk about the under 30, over 60 thing. My older sister, who's probably, I guess she's going to be like 65, 66 later this year. We're clearly two different generations. She is 100% baby boomer, 0X. And I'm probably 80, 90% X, 10%, 20% tops baby boomer, tops. She is pure baby boomer. Her and her husband, who's even a few years older than her, I mean, he might be like 68. We will go to dinner, and my nieces and nephews are on their phones at the table. Me and my brothers and sisters that are, closer to me or folks younger than me have phones on the table.
Like
but
physically on
yes,
the table.
physically sitting there next to your salad fork, And my sister and her husband their phones are MIA. Like his is either in his pocket or hers is in her purse. They are not, probably the ringer's off. They're not like readily available. I almost feel like if I don't answer when someone's calling or don't respond to a text quickly, I'm like selling that person out. They're like, everybody kind of has like a response time that everybody's used to. And if anyone falls out of that response time on their cellular device, people freak out.
Yeah, that's true, especially with young people and their significant others. Like a lot of people will be in relationships 25 and under and talk to their partner all day. Like not just
Oh
at
no,
home, like
it's
at
crazy.
work, Snapchat, text messaging.
No, I love the phone. Don't get me wrong, like everybody else, but it is, I don't want to say equal nightmare, or I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, it's like social media, right? A blessing and a curse.
No, it is.
Like it's part of life. It can be used for good, but it can definitely be abused and lead to some bad things.
No, are you kidding? Nightmare. That you were on the phone 4.5 hours yesterday thing. You're like, Jesus H, really?
Yeah, hope I'm not grossing anybody out, but like you talk about going to the car without your phone. If I even go to the restroom without my phone,
Oh no, I'm with you.
Feels a little weird.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pathetic. There used to be magazines in the bathroom, Mario Brothers, at people's houses. Magazines in the bathroom.
That's so funny. I had to go to my girlfriend's work the other day. She works at a bank, and I had to wait for her for a little while. I'm bringing her home, and I read a magazine.
Yeah.
I didn't take my phone out of my pocket. I read a magazine, and I kind of enjoyed it.
In the waiting area?
Yeah. They had like news articles, like articles about entrepreneurs and leadership.
Oh boy.
They got some interesting.
It's called a magazine, Mario Brothers.
They got some interesting stuff, man.
Hey, coming up in a few minutes, Inspector General Ed Michel, City of New Orleans IG. Ed Michel's going to join us. The annual report from 2025 is out. We'll find out what happened, how much money the City of New Orleans saved because of this. It's going to be tens of millions of dollars, watch, in 1 year. And a lot of these are like recurring. So that it would be next year, the year after, and they're not happening now. So it's money saved annually. No, this office pays for itself like every year and much, much more. It's a shame that the Jefferson Parish office is handicapped, kind of controlled by the Jefferson Parish politicians. It's true. If there's an ever righteous city council person that pops up in Jefferson Parish, they'll put a proposal out where the citizens of Jefferson Parish will have to vote to legitimize that office of Inspector General, where they have autonomy, an independent funding source, where the politicians have no control over the office. They control the office right now. They handicap and restrict that office greatly. It's a shame. Ironically, the New Orleans office is set up right. Bob Sarasoli, who was the CPA type, the Inspector General for the Big Dig, putting the interstate in Boston underground decades ago. New Orleans post-Katrina brought him in to set up the Inspector General's office here, and he was the right guy for the job. Just hardcore, focused, East Coast guy, no BS at all. No nonsense. Set it up right in spite of New Orleans and its political shenanigans. And even then, you get a weak person running it. I remember Ed Cotreveau. He was solid. He was good after Bob Sarasoli burned out, just getting beat up in New Orleans, but setting the office up right. Ed Cotreveau was kind of long in the tooth, wasn't really proactive, but was decent. Do nothing Derry Harper was a joke, was a nightmare. He was every politician's friend. The office did nothing. He didn't show up for work. Just sad, but just a waste. And now we've got more of a Bob Sarasoli pit bull type in Ed Michel that puts the office to good use. An IG has the power to investigate public entities, audit them, see what they're doing. Hey, how you doing, Jimmy? Let me see your checkbook. Okay, it's balanced. Thanks. Jimmy, you're spending extra money here. You could get it cheaper by ordering it in advance. You could save money doing this, getting it on a Monday instead of on a Sunday. You could have 3 people working this and get more done than the 4 people you have doing it this way. Whatever. Hey, Jimmy, someone's stealing, and then so there's no downside to it. Investigating public projects. No, Jefferson Parish needs a legitimate one, and St. Tammany needs one. desperately. Anyway, I love the Office of Inspector General, especially when a pit bull type is at the controls. And that's what we've got in Ed Michel. He joins us next, and he'll fill us in on what's happening. Artemis 2 goes to the moon tonight, 8 o'clock tonight. President Trump live to the nation on the Iran war. Corey Johnson with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Audubon Gutters with you for the last 35 years. If you need gutters for your home or gutters for your business, all they do are gutters. New Orleans Gutter Company for 3.5 decades. AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. Wednesday afternoon edition of the program. Wide open Wednesday. Glorious weather day. So nice outside. Why don't you boil some crawfish? Get them live by the sack at Rouse's. Want to just pull them out, peel them, eat them, hot from the pot? Rouse's Markets. They got hot from the pot crawfish, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. right now. And they got live by the sack crawfish, Rouse's Markets.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971. On Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Pretty warm out there, about 78 degrees. That air conditioning working right? You never know. You might need the heat before the summer season rolls in. If you're in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, the metro area of New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, River Parishes, North Shore, Metro Baton Rouge, from Port Allen to Prairieville and beyond, Gonzales. In New Orleans or Metro Baton Rouge, and you need air conditioning or heat help, think Total Maintenance. If you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. For over 40 years. Fair and honest Lucas and the boys. Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. That's all you need to know. TM-AC.com. That's Total Maintenance. Inspector General Ed Michel, City of New Orleans, joins us again on the program. How are you, Ed?
Hey, Corey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking me on this afternoon.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you. Hey, before we get going, you are under what, a new contract with the city, and for how long?
Well, the Office of the Ethics Review Board just reappointed me to another 4-year contract.
Excellent. Excellent. No, to be honest with you, I was a little nervous of some shenanigans going on the side there, but more concerned about you, Ed. I mean, this job is taxing on an individual, isn't it?
Well, it can be if you don't have the experience to manage the multiple prongs of fraud, waste, and abuse that come at you daily. Luckily for me, I was fortunate enough to have the experience to be able to navigate my way through the $12 billion in assets and $1.2 billion in annual budget. And, my team has done a great job of looking for ways to identify and mitigate fraud, waste, and abuse, as is evidenced by our annual report and how productive we have been, to date.
Essentially, what is the OIG annual report? It's about giving the citizens in Metro New Orleans an overview of exactly what went down in the Office of Inspector General and the use of the budget you guys have for the 2025 year.
Sure. The annual report is a compilation of all of our accomplishments. And, by law, we are required to produce that report once a year. And sometimes, the citizens may not be up to date on what we're doing. And this just gives them the opportunity to see just what an incredible value the OIG is for the city. And in 2025, we identified about $3.9 million in potential savings, in addition to another $122 million of city funds at risk of fraud, waste, and abuse due to insufficient oversight.
All right, let's talk about those two things. The nearly $4 million in potential savings. That's hard money. That's like for the year, and a lot of that could be reoccurring. Like if you didn't figure out the problem every year, that money's lost, right?
Sure. So if you look at, for instance, the $122 million number, the city funds entities like the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office, the Criminal Court, the Municipal Court, the Clerk of Court, Juvenile Court. All of these entities require a significant amount of taxpayer dollars to operate. But unfortunately, Corey, those entities were not using the city's brass platform which is the city's financial arm, to allow for and approve expenditures. It's called Brass Requisition and Accounting Services System. And the city was just handing over this money, and these entities were not complying with the financial expenditure protocols for the budget requisition system. So the city really didn't have an idea of how this money was being spent, or if it was even being spent in accordance with financial accounting best practices.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable.
After the city council received that report, they actually passed an ordinance recently requiring these entities to enlist and for them to utilize the services of brass. So now the city will have a better idea of where the citizens' taxpayer dollars are going, and that's $122 million right there.
Yeah, wow. On a separate topic and a separate report, real quick. Did the sheriff's office ever get on brass?
The city council required the sheriff's office. They gave them a 1-year time period.
Wow.
And with the new sheriff coming in, I believe the new sheriff is going to be committed to efficiency and transparency. And I believe she will meet that deadline, if not sign on to brass sooner.
I was promoting you coming on the show, Ed, and I was talking about how you're a pit bull and you're tenacious and you're like Bob Sarasoli, the guy who set up the office. He set it up right. Jefferson Parish office doesn't have the autonomy, the set budget. It's like one hand's tied behind their back over there, handcuffed. St. Tammany, one of the fastest growing parishes with so much public money being spent on so many public projects and not having an IG, I think is an unfortunate situation. With all of that said, your budget is locked and loaded. It's part of the city's overall budget. And I believe it's at about $4.5 million. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of these numbers. You just mentioned in just the fiscal year 2025, the OIG's office identified $3.9 million in potential savings. Your budget's $4.5 million, yet you operated at only $3.8 million. So you literally saved the city about $100,000 more than your office spent, coupled with the fact that because your budget is locked into the city budget overall, and you don't have to worry about some government entity lowering your budget, you return $700,000 to the city. Am I right on all of this?
Oh yeah, those numbers are exact. Our budget for 2025 was about 4.5 million, but and I believe that we have to be good stewards of our limited resources as well. So we have to be the model for the rest of the city to follow. So even though our budget was about 4.5 million, we operated on about 3.8 million, and I returned about $700,000 to the city, which equates to about 104% return on investment for the city, in addition to identifying that $122 million of funds at risk. So we continue to be a very good investment for the city. And that those numbers, Corey, don't even account for the accountability and the enforcement, which I'd like to talk to you now about our criminal investigations for the year.
Please, go ahead.
So, OIG led investigations to about 9 major criminal actions, including federal indictments of public officials who were using their office for personal gain, federal convictions of a former NOPD officer, as well as a NOPD reserve officer and a sewage and water board officer for multiple fraud schemes, as well as additional sentencing for wire fraud. We also led the investigation of the former 911 director for various charges, including malfeasance in office, injuring public records, and impersonation of a police officer. In addition to that, our investigations also led to the loss of licensure for about 6 fraudulent contractors who were directly impacting public safety. So in addition to the money, we have this other side of the office, which is our criminal enforcement. And I've said this numerous times, I would much rather mitigate fraud, waste, and abuse through education and awareness. So we will write a report, we will write an audit, we will conduct an evaluation, but sometimes that is not enough of a deterrent for individuals to stop committing fraud, waste, and abuse. And when that happens, I'm fortunate enough to be able to use administrative and criminal sanctions for individuals who abuse the public trust and use our money in ways for which it was not intended.
Yeah, it's really fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption, right?
Public corruption is perennial in the city, Corey, and we continue to identify and mitigate it on a daily basis. 2026 will be no different. We will have additional, confident to say, indictments and prosecutions and convictions of public officials who continue to use their public office for personal gain.
Would you say that is a systemic problem in New Orleans government, in New Orleans politics?
It has been perennial and systemic, although more recently I feel as though we are turning the page, and I think it will be less and less as we make examples of people who abuse the public trust. It's my hope that there will be less and less corruption as individuals are held accountable for their actions.
Hey, Ed, what, you issued 7 reports last year?
Yes, one of our major reports focused on safety and permits. In April of 25, we released an audit reporting that revealed serious gaps in oversight of third-party inspectors and issued about 6 recommendations for reform. Third-party inspectors perform the bulk of inspections in New Orleans, so it's essential, Corey, that safety and permits provide sufficient oversight of their work. Failure to follow these protocols, unfortunately, can result in building collapse, injury or death, or damage to property, and that significantly impacts our citizens, our city, and our many visitors that come here.
Hey, Ed, hang on one second. I'm going to knock out a quick break. Ed Michel's with us, Office of Inspector General, City of New Orleans. It's crawfish season. Crawfish hot from the pot, ready to eat. Rouse's Markets. Crawfish live by the sack. Your own crawfish boil. Rouse's Markets. No one sells more hot from the pot, boiled, ready to eat crawfish than Rouse's Market. And no one sells more live by the sack, ready to boil crawfish. It's crawfish season. Rouse's Markets.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
I'm sorry I never told you, dear. When we were married, your father made me conceal the fact so he could get into country clubs.
It was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do, dear.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. New Orleans Inspector General Ed Michel is with us. Ed, I apologize. 7 different reports you were talking about, a few of them that got going. You still there, Ed?
Sure. In addition to the third-party inspectors report for safety and permit, we also released another report on safety and permits and found that they lacked adequate protocols, not only for the third-party inspectors, but in addition, they failed to comply with their own policies and their procedures, and they hadn't hired a full-time compliance officer. And, perhaps one of the most disturbing things is that they did not submit reports for about 44% of the inspections tested, and they didn't consistently submit the required photographic documentation for each inspection. And that's important for you because if they don't submit the necessary photographic inspection processes, that means we can't prove and they can't prove that they were actually at the inspection site. And if you remember my previous report, when I looked at their GPS data, identified that a large portion of inspectors were just simply not showing up for inspections, but submitting inspection reports, even though they had not been on site.
So you do these reports, they're very thorough. You not only point out the problems, which can be significant and multi-layered, but then you offer ways to solve them. One report you had like 12 recommendations for reforms, the other you had 6 recommendations?
Sure. Our reports are prepared by certified inspector general auditors who are CPAs, certified inspector general evaluators who are either have a JD or a PhD, and a host of, as you know, my investigators are all mostly retired FBI agents. So we write these reports and we come up with recommendations, turn-by-turn navigational directions, if you will, on how the city entities need to get to the location every step of the way. It is up to them to follow our directions and instructions, and we come up with these recommendations to ensure efficiency and effectiveness. And in about 98% of the evaluations and audits that we produce, along with the recommendations, they are wholeheartedly accepted. Sometimes they may have difficulty enacting them, but they, for the most part, agree that our recommendations were spot on and that they needed to comply with those to ensure more efficiency in the city entity.
Speaking of complying, the NOPD, you guys found out they weren't in compliance with national reporting standards for crime stats, and it cost the department over $1 million?
Yes, so last year we released a public letter that the NOPD did not follow compliance with the national reporting standards for crime statistics, and that alone cost the city as well as our nonprofit partners about $1.1 million, including grant money, which was used to support crime victims. And we need more support for our victims for sure. So we recommended actions for them to ensure compliance, which they agreed with and have enacted, because that's essential to ensure the appropriate allocation of funds. I say this all the time. The city does not have unlimited funds, so we must be good stewards with the limited resources that we have.
They're undeclared emergencies, not a legitimate, I shouldn't say not legitimate, but not one that is official. Undeclared emergencies, and not really a procurement system in place when funds are used, right?
So the city has an enormous budget. So it's about 1.3 to 1.4 billion dollars a year. The NOPD budget alone is about 162 million, which is why this year, earlier, we issued a letter stating that the NOPD should comply with best practices on the allocation and distribution of payroll for its officers. We have to use our limited resources effectively. And so in that 1.3 billion, there's an enormous amount of procurement. And there are rules to follow for procurement. And when those rules aren't followed, a couple of things happen. The citizens of New Orleans don't necessarily get the proper services that they need. And the city sometimes often pays more for services than it should. And like I said, we don't have unlimited resources here, so we have to make sure that we're good stewards, because after all, it's the taxpayers' money.
This one kind of worked backwards, you could say. Instead of you guys finding out that police officers were cheating on their exam, you found out that they were not cheating on their exam. Explain that one.
Yes. So we received a request from the superintendent of police to conduct an investigation because there was an allegation that there was cheating and bias in the NOPD 2024 promotional exams, specifically, Corey, for the captain and major positions. Our findings were provided to the NOPD. We did not find any cheating, and this allowed for the promotional process to proceed, because keep in mind, they had key vacancies during the Super Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and the terrorist attack. And the police department needs an effective leadership in place. And when allegations like this happen, it delays the promotional process, thereby not enabling key leadership positions in strategic locations in the city. And, we need to make sure that NOPD is staffed appropriately and they have the resources, the leadership, and the guidance to be able to properly protect our citizens. So we issued guidance for improving their promotional process to prevent misuse of the anonymous complaint system while preserving the integrity of the process itself.
Yeah, that was nasty. Junket Cantrell getting politically involved in that. Hey, NORD, apparently, the New Orleans Recreation Development Commission, the New Orleans Recreation Development Foundation, they don't really seem, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. How about that?
Well, sure. So the New Orleans Recreation Department failed to conduct annual audits and sworn financial statements as required by law. And, when we confronted them with this, they simply thought that they didn't have to. But we recommended that they immediately begin taking steps to become compliant with all of the legal obligations. And that includes, Corey, an annual financial audit.
And they weren't doing this at all, apparently.
They were not doing it. They thought, for some reason, that they may be exempt from that, which, of course, they're not. And this is critical. And again, I've said it numerous times. People often come up to me and say, we could do so much more if we had just a little bit more money. And my response to them is why not be better stewards with the money we have now? because there is a significant amount of money. And when you're talking 1.3 to 1.4 billion dollars,
Yep.
that's a significant amount of money, Corey. So we need to be better stewards with that money. For instance, when we did the red light traffic camera report, we found that the city issued these citations, and some of these drivers were issued citations in school zones where the school zones were either out of session,
Yep.
hadn't started yet, or ended, or there was no school at all, and they charged our citizens about $730,000 that they shouldn't have. So we instructed the city that they had to return that money, and then we went back and did another follow-up on the traffic camera safety program to make sure that they were complying with our suggestions. And lo and behold, they were not, and they issued another $720,000 in citations that they shouldn't have, and now they have to refund those amounts to the citizens of New Orleans. So that's another $720,000. And this is all important because, as you know, we're in somewhat of a budget crisis this year.
Yep, no doubt. Anything else we're missing from 2025 that you guys accomplished at the Office of Inspector General?
Well, like I said, we have many criminal investigations that are forthcoming. We have a report that's coming out on EMD to make sure that our emergency medical technicians are answering their 911 calls efficiently and effectively. We're going to be looking at sewage and water board overtime as well as illegal dumping. And last year, we conducted about 32 presentations, expanded our Citizens Academy, and I'm proud of this, Corey. We hosted 2 international delegations through the U.S. State Department. So we are now have been recognized as an office who can train other entities, and this was the Department of State's premier training program.
Wow! Congratulations on that.
But we need the citizens' help now more than ever. So if anyone wants to report fraud, waste, and abuse to us, they can do so on our website at www.nolaoig.gov. And please follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, formerly known as Twitter as X.
Yep.
And so our handle on Instagram is NOLA OIG, and on LinkedIn, we're the Office of Inspector General for the City of New Orleans. And you can report fraud, waste, and abuse to us at any time. And if you don't want to reveal your identity, you can do so in an anonymous fashion.
Yeah, and how do you report fraud, waste, abuse, or corruption again?
Just visit our website, www.nolaoig.gov, and on the top right-hand corner, there's a button that says report fraud, waste, or abuse.
Ed, Michel, always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Corey, for having me on. Appreciate it.
That's Ed Michel, Office of Inspector General, going over the annual report, the office's accomplishments. They gave $700,000 back to the city this year, under budget, still accomplishing lots of great things. Amazing. Yes, St. Tammany, you need one of those. Coming right back, New Orleans.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Uptown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Gerttown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yeah, you're right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. If you just missed a little bit of the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. The last 30 minutes, Inspector General Ed Michel was with us, City of New Orleans. Now, that office is so important. It's such a no-brainer to me. It's like a gift. It's a gift. Politicians don't like it. The politicians don't want someone looking over their shoulder, scrutinizing their spending. They just want to be like a drunk sailor at port, spend the money freely. I mean, New Orleans is a broken city. Louisiana is a broken state. You want Office of Inspector Generals all over this city and state. But they have to be effective. I mean, it's like twofold. The office has to be set up right. Jefferson Parish is not. And the inspector general running the office, even if it's set up right, has to be a pit bull, a tenacious attacking pit bull. And like do nothing Derry Harper in the New Orleans office a couple of OIGs ago was awful, was a waste of a human being. Didn't show up for work, didn't do anything, was politically connected, was a hack, bigoted. He was terrible. No, but you have an office set up right. That's the first step. New Orleans has that. You have someone who's tenacious and attacking pit bull. New Orleans has that in Ed Michel, like the guy who set up the office, Bob Sarasoli. I don't know about the office of OIG as far as, who's running it, if she's doing an effective job or not. Like, I don't know because I don't know enough about her because the office is so limited. The office is so broken The office is so politically run in Jefferson Parish, so limited on what they can do, that I don't know if the person running that office is doing an effective job or not. St. Tammany, there's no office, much less than OIG, so I have no idea what's going on there. All I can tell you is St. Tammany has about 280,000 people in that parish. It's one of the fastest growing. It's got a lot of public money being spent, a lot of public projects. You want them scrutinized. You want them scrutinized. You don't want to trust the politicians. And in St. Tammany, I remember A.G. Crow, the Slidell politician who brought us the Naturally Nolans Bridge, that stupidity, that ridiculousness. He basically squashed an office of Inspector General for St. Tammany. And even if he would have green lit the thing, it would have been weak and pathetic like Jefferson Parish's office. No, if you're a St. Tammany resident, you should demand that. Talk to your council people, get it on a ballot, get it away from the politicians, unlike Jefferson. I mean, Jefferson Parish, the council, the president, they control the budget, what that office can do, what they can investigate, all of that. It's a joke. In New Orleans, the office is autonomous. It's in the federal building. Like, you can't even go visit the office. Bob Sarasoli was smart. He's like, I don't want politicians and power, people in New Orleans popping into my office. I'll meet him somewhere. He would meet him in the lobby of the Pavilion Hotel, literally. No, he was tenacious. The office sits alone. It's got a budget that is set in the city budget where the council can't reduce the budget. The mayor of the city of New Orleans can't reduce the budget. It's locked and loaded every year. No, an autonomy to do what it wants to do, what it's supposed to do. Protect us, the citizens. Find fraud, waste, and abuse of money. I mean, it's not like criminal behavior. It's like the parish is spending $1. Let's see how they're spending it. Wow, we're getting every penny out of that dollar. Wow, we're only getting 93 cents out of that dollar. How do we get the other 7 cents out of it? That's what the OIG's office does. Fraud, waste, and abuse, and then corruption occasionally. There'll be waste that'll lead to fraud or abuse where someone is breaking the law and stealing public money, taxpayer money. No, I love the office of Inspector General. Jefferson Parish needs a real one, and St. Tammany needs one. Artemis 2 going off tonight. And boy, in 2026, you're going to be able to go online and watch like every minute of this 10-day mission. Artemis 2 going to the moon tonight with 4 astronauts on board. They'll orbit the moon and come back. It's a 10-day mission. About 2 or 3 days to the moon. Maybe like 3 or 4 are there and back. I said yesterday Artemis 3 would put man on the moon. Artemis 3 will go to the moon again, and I think we'll put the capsule on the moon and then retrieve the capsule and bring it back to Earth with no astronaut in it. And then Artemis 4, which I think is somewhere around 2028, 2029, they will put a man or woman back on the moon. So Artemis 1, about 3 years ago, unmanned rocket, orbited the moon, came back. Artemis 2, doing it with astronauts. Artemis 3, doing a simulated lunar landing with the capsule and then bringing it back to Earth. Artemis 4, putting a man or woman back on the moon. So we're getting halfway there. No, I love it. I said yesterday, 1969, putting man on the moon, the whole 60s, the technological advancements were off the charts. And putting man on the moon, maybe the single greatest accomplishment in mankind. It's underappreciated, under-talked about, under-discussed. That's tonight. I think like a little after 6, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in like the next hour, hour and a half. 8 o'clock tonight, President Trump on the Iran war addressing the country. That's necessary. That's smart. We got a lot more to discuss coming up in the 5 o'clock power hour. Corey Johnson with you. Phone lines are always open. We don't screen calls. We won't cut you off if we disagree. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. We're right on the brink of summer. Need a great pair of sunglasses? Or maybe you wear prescription eyewear like me, looking for a great pair of frames? Art and Eyes on Magazine. Before you go spend hundreds of dollars on sunglasses online that you don't even know how they look on you, or go to the strip mall or shopping mall or some national chain store, do yourself a favor. Before you spend hundreds on sunglasses or prescription eyewear, visit Art and Eyes on Magazine. Over 4,000 frames to choose from. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. 5 o'clock powwow now.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. The 5 o'clock power hour is upon us on a wide open Wednesday. Mario, it's hump day. I'm an FM disc jockey. We're halfway through the week.
Hump day.
We are halfway through. 5 hours in the books, 5 more to go until Friday and the weekend.
I kept thinking today was Thursday for some reason.
Me too. Forget about what day it is. We know it's New Orleans, Mario. That's all that's important.
Heck yeah.
Or in your case, this is Kenner.
This is America's City.
America's City. That's embarrassing, Mario. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud.
Doesn't Hammond try to claim that too?
Hammond's more of America's City than Kenner.
Man, hit me up when Hammond has a G League team.
Oh, wow. What a comeback. Wow. Kenner has a G League team, the Pelicans G League team, the old Birmingham Squadron. The Lake Town Squadron playing at the Pontchartrain Center.
The Lake Town Squadron.
All right. Hit me up when Kenner has a university with 16,000 students.
Man.
And those wonderful strawberries.
Man, you forget I had the ability to turn off your mic.
I was in Kenner earlier today.
Were you?
Yeah, I put my mommy on a plane to go visit my sister in Virginia.
The new airport's so nice, man.
The new airport's plush.
Compared to what it used to be.
Oh, the old airport was a dump.
Yeah, it was so bad.
No, we went from a total, like on a 1 to 10 scale, like a 1. Like, oh, you're landing in New Orleans. That's the 1.
So
the airport itself sucked, like a 0 to like an 11.
You know Colin Cowherd, sports talk show host.
Yep.
In like 2011, he had this big anti-New Orleans rant. And at the time, I hated him for it. But the crux of his argument was he travels a lot and the airport's just unacceptably bad.
It is. It's unacceptably bad.
Looking back, he was definitely
He was right.
Yeah.
That's the first impression you get. Like 20 plus years ago, Mario Brothers, some politicos and some business people went to visit then Mayor Daley in Chicago. And he's like, it doesn't matter what your city is, where it's located. Every city's different. Are you a port city? Are you inland? Do you manufacture this, that? You cold weather, warm weather, climate, east, west, whatever. Every city's different. But 3 things you got to focus in on. He's like, make sure your city's clean. No litter, no graffiti, no weeds. Clean up your city. Make sure your public school education system's as good as it's going to be. You have to invest in that anyway. Make it the best possible. And make sure your airport is state of the art. And Chicago not only had Midway, but they had, O'Hare, the world's busiest for a while until Atlanta overtook that. They're still top 10 busiest in the world. Chicago's very clean, especially for a large metropolitan area. Their public school education, I guess is better than average. Not great, but better than average. And their airports are state of the art. I remember going, wow, New Orleans has a terrible public education system. It might be the filthiest city in America. And our airport is crap. We're 0 for 3. So Daley was talking about kind of what Cowherd was implying. It's the first impression for visitors. They see this crusty, crappy old airport. It's like I'm going to this crusty, crappy city.
Yeah, that's a good point. At least we're up to par there now.
I tell Michael Heck, like it's sort of a catch-22. Like the interstate in New Orleans, like the physical interstate in the city where those like pipes are, the little decorative pipes on the railing. You know what I'm talking about? And a lot of the pipes are missing or they're not hooked into the next little brace and it's sagging down. I was like, either remove all the pipes or at very least consolidate and fix the ones that are missing or hanging over. It's like blank or get off the pot with those. And the catch-22 is, Mario, the railings are artificially low, and without the pipe, the visual for drivers might, in New Orleans especially, people start panicking. I mean, I remember when they removed those railings on the Causeway Bridge. I don't know if you remember this, before they put the new railings in. It was, you're like, oh my God, that railing's so low. No wonder cars are going off and over the bridge. The newer Causeway Bridge, the one from Metairie to Mandeville, the railing's taller. So there's no metal piping ornamentation. It's just a concrete railing. The older bridge, they took off the ornamentation and they added that heavy duty metal railing, the whole length of the bridge on each side. So it's like 50 miles of railing, practically 48 miles of railing. But right away, you're locked in. You're not going off the bridge. When they removed the piping, you were like, my God, I can see how cars go over. It was almost scary, like that. It's almost like an elevated curb. It's barely a railing. And I think the railings on the interstate with that decorative piping around New Orleans, they're artificially low, probably scare the crap out of drivers if all those pipes were removed. So you got to fix those or consolidate those. My whole point of all that visual makes you think you're like in Laurel, Mississippi or something. It's wow, the interstate system is this dated in New Orleans. They still have these round metal pipe things from like the 50s and 60s. It just reeks of like a bad airport. And those things need to be fixed. Those are like first impression things. I swear, it's almost like New Orleans needs to hire like an outside consulting firm, like maybe 2 or 3 different ones, that like a group of people fly into the city, get out at the airport, come into New Orleans via taxi cab, come into New Orleans in a rental car, come into New Orleans, in their own car, whatever, and drive in and just, what's the impression of the airport? What's the impression of getting on I-10? What's the impression of I-10 through Kenner, through Metairie, into New Orleans? The bridges, is there graffiti? Are there weeds? The fencing on the side of the interstate? Where is there blight? Where is there neglect? What looks good? What should be highlighted? What should be hidden? On and on and on. And get these groups it's simple. I mean, would you love to scour the whole city? You bet. But from the airport to the CBD, the French Quarter, the Warehouse District, in and around those areas, the touristy areas, that's all that you really need to clean up. That you need to make sure that the first impression that outsiders get don't make Colin Cowherd dog the city. And I think it's a lot more than just the airport. It's so many other things. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Kiefer and Kiefer, when you have a legal issue, a real legal problem, you need a real attorney. You don't need these jokers on TV. If you have a real injury, you have a real claim, you need a real lawyer that can deliver real results. That's Kiefer and Kiefer, a New Orleans law firm for decades. Senator Nat Kiefer Sr. started the firm. After a couple of years from graduating law school, his son, Nat Kiefer Jr., joined the firm. And now Nat Kiefer Jr.'s daughter, Megan, pretty much handles everything. 3 generations, a New Orleans law firm for decades, a real law firm, bringing you real results when you have a real legal issue, when it's not time to joke around. KieferandKiefer.com, KieferandKiefer.com. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls, 766-9480. 766-9480. Mario Brothers, I was in your Kenner today, and my brother, and I dropped my mom off at the airport because I brought her to the gate. And as we were driving, leaving the airport, the traffic coming back into the city was atrocious. So I was like, let's get off at Williams, cut over to Airline, get on Earhart Expressway, get me back to, the Holly Grove neighborhood. And We were going down Williams, and I pointed out a fantastic Latino joint owned and operated by Latinos. It's pure Latino. It comes from south of the border. Okay, it's probably none of those things. I pointed out that there's a Taco Tico in Kenner.
I thought you were about to say Pollo Campero.
No. I was joking. It's probably a bunch of gringos that own Taco Tico.
Yeah, I would think so.
There was one out by where we grew up, out by the lakefront in the old Pitt Theater on Elysian Fields, and then Robert E. Lee, now Alan Tucson, a Taco Tico. I never liked it, but my brother loved it. And when I showed him that there was an actual Taco Tico, he pretty much lost his mind. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe there's a Taco Tico in Kenner. He goes, and he's like, might have to come out here and visit. He lives all the way out by UNO.
Okay.
He'll literally be making like a 15-minute trek to Taco Tico on Williams.
You know, I've met a few people like that do like Taco Tico, but honestly,
White people like Taco Tico.
I was gonna say none of them are
I don't
Latino.
think Latinos like Taco
None
Tico.
of them are Latino.
I think Taco Tico is like a better Taco Bell.
Yeah, but Taco Bell is looked at like a chain place, not real tacos, but it's at least respected. Taco Tico.
Latinos respect Taco Bell?
A little bit, yeah.
Why?
As a brand, as a chain, they'll like if they're going to get tacos, they'll never, but if you're drunk 2 a.m, they'll kill some Taco Bell maybe.
There's some, is it legitimate? Is it sort of Latino type tacos at Taco Bell?
I wouldn't say that. It's definitely Americanized.
It's Americanized like crazy.
Yeah, but they respect the brand. Taco Tico is just not respected as much.
Wow, that's interesting because gringos, I think, would say Taco Tico is better than Taco Bell, like more fast casual than fast food.
Yeah, I really wish I had tried Taco Tico so I can compare.
Why don't you live right near there? Why? What are you waiting on?
I don't know. Like Taco Bell, Waffle House, some places are for me just for like late night. Nothing else is open.
No, I got you.
I'll never go to any of those places during the day.
I took your advice and got a burger and some onion rings at Ground Patty in Kenner, brah.
Nice.
It was pretty good.
You still haven't tried the potato skins though.
No, I got to get the potato skins. You were really raving about those.
Yeah, best in town, dude.
Hey, every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Lamarck Crescent City Ford, they've been at it over 80 years on Jefferson Highway. They used to be right by the parish line where that Lowe's is located. Now they're in Harahan, Elmwood for like the last 25 years. If you own a business and you need a commercial truck, van, or SUV, it's easy. Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. Jefferson Highway by Hord, Hord. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. We got a rocket going to the moon tonight and a Donald Trump speech.
Word is one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers. Uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
My home is over Jordan.
I got a great place for you tonight for dinner on a Wednesday night during Lent. The Steak Knife Restaurant in Lakeview on Harrison Avenue, right off Canal Boulevard, in between Canal Boulevard and City Park. The Steak Knife for Lent. I counted the menu items, nearly 40 menu items, like 32 or 33 of them are Lent ready. I love the little toasty things, the little garlic toasts. I get the homemade creamy Italian salad dressing on the side, and I dip these little garlic toast things in that. Because that homemade creamy Italian salad dressing, one of the best salad dressings in the city. Incredible. Then you can get the eggplant or the onion rings, the crab meat au gratin, the shrimp remoulade, the flash fried oysters that are in corn flour, like the catfish des Amens appetizer in corn flour, smoked salmon. I mean, these are the appetizers at the Steak Knife, all Lent ready. Seafood gumbo. 5 salads, all Lent ready. Several of them with like avocado and jumbo lump crab meat. Fantastic. Speckled trout with jumbo lump crab meat. Shrimp bordelaise. All 13 sides at the Steak Knife, Lent ready. And yeah, 6-ounce, 9-ounce filet, a big 14-ounce prime ribeye, a big 14-ounce prime New York strip. Get that crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree. So good. Delicious. Great environment. Great place for dinner tonight. They've been around 55 years. So many of you go to the Steak Knife and love it and know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you are like, Corey's right. Love the Steak Knife. Haven't been in years. What are you waiting for? Get back to the Steak Knife tonight for dinner. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. In the 4 o'clock hour, Inspector General Ed Michel joined us. Fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption. That's what the Office of Inspector General does in New Orleans. Make sure fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption not taking place with our taxpayer dollars. Artemis 2 going to the moon tonight with 4 astronauts. It's a 10-day mission. There'll be no landing, no stops. Orbit the Earth a few times, zip over to the moon, take a few days to get there, orbit the moon. Man seeing the dark side of the moon for the first time ever, I believe. Then coming back, 10-day mission, landing in the Pacific. I said Atlantic yesterday, landing in the Pacific in 10 days. I also said Artemis 3 will put man on the moon. It won't. Artemis 4 will put a man or woman on the moon. Artemis 1, about 3 years ago, is what they're doing right now without any astronauts. They launched the rocket. It was all automated. They orbited the moon. They brought it back. Capsule landed in the ocean. Everything's great. Artemis 2, kind of a repeat of Artemis 1, but with astronauts, 4 astronauts orbiting the moon, going back to the moon, man going back to the moon for the first time in 55 years. Artemis 3 will be another manned mission, and it will go to the moon again, but I believe the capsule or one part of the rocket will go down to the moon and come back all automated, not a man going to the moon. And then Artemis 4 will be a man stepping foot on the moon or a woman. And that's like 2028. So tonight, astronauts going to the moon, orbiting the moon, and coming back to Earth, 4 astronauts, a 10-day mission, Artemis 2. Significant no matter where you are in the world. Man going to the moon, it's pretty incredible. The accomplishment's amazing. Leaving this planet, it's crazy. But for New Orleanians, it's really something special because we're a major player in this. The main core of the rocket we built, the capsule, the Orion capsule we built, all in New Orleans East, out at Michel. No, something we can be proud of. New Orleans is a major contributor to significant achievements in mankind. I mean, the Higgins boat arguably won World War II. We were a huge player in that. We were the builders of the Higgins boat. And then we built the engines for the Saturn V rocket that put man on the moon. We built the external fuel tank for the space shuttle. And now most of this Artemis rocket and capsule built at Michel. Yeah, you're right. I believe that launch is about an hour away. At 8 o'clock tonight, President Trump will address the nation on the Iran war. That is needed because this thing is a ready, fire, aim, cluster, you know what. There was some talk, I think even reports from media, that the Metairie Tower condos in Old Metairie would be auctioned off today, April 1st. It's not an April Fool's joke, I think just a mistake. The auction is not until May 13th. The auction date is May 13th for that eyesore that sits on 4 acres of prime real estate in Old Metairie. That Metairie Tower condo, that thing needs to be torn down. The redoing it, putting lipstick on a pig, a tuxedo on a cockroach, just a major problem. It's an ugly, worthless building, has no architectural significance, limited with yesteryear, 8-foot ceilings and the like. Tear that thing down. I mean, somebody used their imagination, a developer. 4 acres on Metairie Road. Are you kidding? That's like just about as good as it gets. Are there richer, more affluent areas in America that are more coveted? You bet. But that is upper middle class, which the dollars are the same anywhere in America. So you name the city, I don't care if it's Nashville, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Denver, Seattle, you're looking for a neighborhood that is, upper middle class as the low end and rich and wealthy as almost the norm. I shouldn't say the norm, but a large percentage are rich and wealthy in Old Metairie. And a lot of everybody else, I guess there's like 10% middle class. And then it's a lot of upper middle class. And then, like I said, a lot of rich and wealthy in a 4-acre spot right in the middle of it on the main drag. That's a coveted thing. Redoing the old Metairie Tower condos is a waste of time and a waste of that 4-acre site. I mean, I look at, old Metairie Village Shopping Center, which is 40 years old, 40 plus years old. Old Metairie Village Shopping Center. Still pretty good. Looks good, functions well, pretty much full to capacity. Crowded every time I go near there. The little shopping center across the street's older than Old Metairie Village. They've redone the facade, the signage. It looks better. No, I would envision the 4 acres where the old Metairie Tower condo is like a 2026, 2030, 2040 version of Old Metairie Village. Some retail on the first floor, second floor, like lawyer, doctor's offices, third, fourth, fifth floor condos and apartments. Some major retail right there on Metairie Road. That, I think, is the best use. That's where the metro area and Old Metairie benefits from it. Anyway, I don't think anyone benefits really from the Metairie Tower condos being redone. Such an eyesore, such an ugly building. Like I said, nothing architecturally significant about it. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Enhanced traffic controls. Sorry, Mario, that 68 Camaro with the jacked up rear end with the motor exposed, no hood on the car at all. You're not going to be able to drag race it up and down Lakeshore Drive over the Easter weekend. Sorry. Enhanced traffic controls Easter weekend and Sunday, Easter day, on Lakeshore Drive from West End to the Seabrook Bridge. One thing I would say to folks going out there, it's New Orleans. It's like going to the quarter during Mardi Gras. Does law enforcement really put a damper on your party? I don't think so. You idiots that want to break the law and play the music too loud and leave your trash everywhere. Yeah, I guess law enforcement's a hassle for you. Everybody out there this Easter going out to the lakefront, don't leave your crawfish tails out like they're biodegradable and just leave the, crawfish, not the tails, the shells out, after you've had your crawfish boil. Don't just leave your crap out there. Bag it up and throw it in a garbage can. Bring garbage bags. The garbage cans are going to get full. Bring your own garbage bags for your garbage out at the lakefront. Don't rely on the lakefront area, the city of New Orleans, anybody to pick up your trash or have enough trash cans available for the huge crowds that are going to be out there this weekend. That's my number one beef. I mean, I will drive by the lakefront after some big weekend. I'll be over by like the UNO Lakefront Arena, like Franklin and Lakeshore Drive, and that area in between like Franklin and the Seabrook Bridge is just full of trash, just littered with crawfish tails. It's obnoxious. Have some pride, people. And number one, don't be selfish. There are other people involved. Yeah, clean up after yourself. Pretty simple. Corey Johnson with you on a Wide Open Wednesday.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
This is a hell of a lot easier than when I delivered pizza in New Orleans. What the hell? We're all just blocking the street. We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. We're all just blocking the street. Screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Yeah, stop blocking the street.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Nice afternoon. Outdoor dining tonight at Katie's in the patio. That's a good call. Wednesday night steak night at Katie's tonight. Check this out. Now, it's Lent, so you can replace the steak with a great piece of local fresh fish from the Gulf of Mexico. 2 steak specials, and again, you can replace the steak with fish. Starts off with a nice Caesar salad. Then you get a 8-ounce filet with green beans and those Katie's potatoes, those mashed potatoes, which are fantastic. Or get a ribeye with some grilled shrimp with the green beans and the Katie's potatoes after that Caesar salad. And then you get Scott Craig's homemade dessert, the bread pudding with whipped cream. Pick a cocktail of your choosing or a glass of wine, $39. Replace the steak with fish from the Gulf, fresh from the Gulf. Steak night tonight at Katie's. As New Orleans as it gets, Hey, don't forget tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock at Katie's tomorrow. Boiled crawfish, hot from the pot. Enjoy them on the patio. Enjoy them inside. Thursday, 4 o'clock, crawfish night at Katie's. That's tomorrow night. Tonight, steak night at Katie's. And because it's Lent, you can 86 the steak and get a few choices of great Gulf fish instead. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Boy, gas prices surging. The crappy E85 is $2.75 a gallon. The crappy E85 gas, the flex fuel stuff that you really don't want to use, that ethanol-laden gas, that cooking oil gas is $2.75. It's not cooking oil. Might as well be. It's not biodiesel. $2.75 a gallon for the crappy E85. Super is $4.50 a gallon. For super unleaded, $4.50 a gallon. I mean, $4.50 a gallon. If you have a 20-gallon tank, it's going to cost you $90+ to fill up. $90 to fill up. Diesel is $5.30, $5.40 a gallon. Diesel, $5.30, $5.40 a gallon. Gas prices surging all over Metro New Orleans. Yikes. Yeah, I mentioned going into the last break, enhanced traffic controls, Easter weekend, Easter Sunday on Lakeshore Drive from West End to the Seabrook Bridge. My number one complaint about folks going to the lakefront or any area. I mean, I'll go to Lakeside Shopping Center and I'm parking and there's trash and litter by the parking spot. And you can tell it's like right by the yellow stripe, like that person opened their car door and just dumped out all their trash out of their car into the parking lot. It's obnoxious. One of the most selfish things a person can do. No, and a lot of folks on Saturday, Sunday go out to the lakefront for their crawfish boil. They go into one of these shelters. They have take advantage of the picnic benches out there and then just leave. And there's a pile of crawfish sitting on the ground or on the bench. A bag of trash that broke, that's just trash everywhere. Just obnoxious, man. You go out to these public areas, and if your attitude is, well, they better have garbage cans available, they do for a normal crowd. But on a weekend, especially during crawfish season, the garbage cans aren't going to cut it. So you're going to have to bring your own garbage bags, bag up your garbage, and then ideally take it with you, especially if you have like a pickup truck. Put it in the back of the pickup truck, the garbage bag, and take it with you. At the very least, stack it by the garbage can, whatever public place you're at. But leaving your crap everywhere and the garbage can's full, so where were we going to leave it? Whatever. That's just inexcusable and ridiculously selfish. I'd say quit being like a litter bug, but that's such like a friendly term. Like you're a litter bug. No, you're a litter beep. Curse word, not a litter bug.
Yeah, we need to come up with a more offensive term for people that litter. I agree. That sounds way too good.
No, litter bug's terrible. It's almost like friendly.
Yeah, nah.
And litters are so selfish, Mario. It's one of the most selfish acts. Just do not give a crap about anyone but themselves.
Yeah, especially like if you litter in your own home, that's one thing. But public
areas, your car is filthy. That's your own problem.
Yeah.
I have more respect for a person that has a filthy car than them throwing it out on the street and has a clean car.
Yeah, that's not good, man. Sanitation workers deserve a lot of love for picking up after people like that.
No, it's just pathetic. I don't understand how people justify it. It's mostly adults. Just roll down their car window, throw the trash out, open up the car door, leave the trash in a fast food parking lot, lakeside parking lot, wherever.
A lot less people are smoking cigarettes these days, but you still see a lot of those cigarettes.
90% of cigarette smokers are some of our worst litterers.
Yeah.
They just justify it. It's on fire. I don't want to light the garbage can on fire. I don't want this thing. It's biodegradable. All kind of BS. It's full of plastic. It's a plastic filter. It's not biodegradable at all. Cigarette butt is not biodegradable. No, unless it is a filterless cigarette, Mario, That's the only one that you could fling out the window. That is biodegradable.
And for the marijuana smokers, a lot of people leave like the gar guts, like the remnants of the cigar before they, roll up their stuff. You see a lot of that on the street too.
Uh-oh. All right, I got a guy who I know drives a Beamer, and he says he just paid $4.79 a gallon for the mid level. That's the 89. Two questions for you. The $4.79 a gallon for mid is expensive. Is your Beamer supposed to be running on 89 octane and it's supposed to be on super? I don't think you can run that Beamer on 89 octane. You need super unleaded. Don't cut corners with the Beamer. You get less horsepower, less gas mileage. Now, maybe this Beamer says 89 is enough. Uh-oh. He says, who gives a blank? I can't afford that. Less performance, less gas mileage. You got to buy the super for your Beamer. It'll run on 87. I have run out of gas basically during like a storm or whatever, and I drive like a used Mercedes. My car's a 2020. It's got 100,000 miles. The vehicle you drive, I mean, I love folks that drive like these trucks, and they look at me with the Mercedes. I'm like, your truck is twice the cost of my Mercedes. I bought it used. But I've put 87 octane in it, and it doesn't run well. It's almost like, boy, is there water in the gas? It just doesn't run well. Anyway, the point he was making, one like, quit judging me putting 87 octane, 89 octane in my Beamer. He just paid $4.79 for the mid, the 89 octane, $4.79. That is ridiculous. I mean, super would be north of $5 if the mid is $4.79. $4.79 for 89 octane. Yeah, super would be probably $5.25. Diesel might be near $6 at that particular gas station. That's crazy. Yeah, gas prices surging. Even the crappy E85, $2.75 a gallon for that flex fuel. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Did the Artemis rocket already blast off? Yeah, it might have been 6:30 Eastern. NASA's Artemis 2 rocket blasts off. Nice. With 4 astronauts on board. We have liftoff. Love it. Back to space, Mario. Are you going to check out any of that? Do you give a crap about any of that?
Honestly, not really.
Wow. No, that was huge. I mean, I was a kid. I was a baby when we went to the moon, but just the 70s and then the space shuttle, just incredible stuff. But yeah, I think the younger generation do not care.
They don't care about aliens either, it seems like, too, because we've had like a fair amount of evidence that aliens probably exist, right?
Yeah, aliens exist. I mean, if you go with percentages, it's like, of course, any logical, fact-based thinker would say aliens exist. Proof of them coming here, I mean, it's just so arbitrary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Mario, there are more planets in the universe than there are grains of sand on planet Earth.
Yeah, that's
all right.
It's crazy to think.
A lot more. There's a lot more planets in the universe than grains of sand on planet Earth. So for some intelligent life form that is their world is the grain of sand in Australia, they're coming all the way to the United States and finding our grain of sand.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
And so I think probably some advanced life forms have probably come to Earth. Maybe not. But as far as us seeing them, acknowledging them, I think it's so arbitrary. The percentage of it happening is low. But the flip side is true because the vastness of the universe, you have to assume there are other life forms in other parts of this tremendously large universe that we live in.
Yeah, common sense would tell you. And there's a bunch of like conspiracies and recorded events like Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah, you don't even need any of that.
Yeah, but
you just got to go with the grain of sand theory and go with percentages. Am I right?
100%.
I mean, there's alien life out there. That would be my guess. Coming right
For
back.
game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. Yeah, you right. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you can always catch it after the fact. Twitter, X, YouTube, also on Spotify via our podcast. Inspector General Ed Michel joined us talking about that office, what they accomplished last year. Pretty impressive. They have a $4.5 million budget. Now, any other city entity has a budget, and it can be reviewed every year by the council and the mayor. They can add to the budget, take away funding from the budget, whatever. The OIG's office, it's in the Constitution. Voters voted this in. It's part of the set budget, a percentage of the city's annual budget. So it can't be raised or lowered by the mayor or the council. Any city entity that gets allotted X amount of money for the year, they're going to spend it. Most are going to say they spent the money and they need more to operate. Rarely are you going to have a city entity spend less than the money allocated, because if they do, they might see a reduction in what they get allocated. Boy, we gave $4 million to public works. They only spent $3.5 million. Let's take the next year's budget down to $3.5 million. Ed Michel's office has a $4.5 million budget. They ran it at only $3.8 million last year, giving the city back $700,000. $3.8 million they spent in that office. They saved the city $3.9 million on their investigations and audits of city entities and making them more streamlined, more efficient. So they spent $3.8 million. That was the budget of the office. They saved the city $3.9 just last year. So they're $100,000 ahead. They spent $700,000 less than their budget, so that's another $700,000. They're $800,000 ahead already. And then, by the way, that $3.9 million they saved the city, some of that's like reoccurring, like money that would have been spent every year. So figure that out exponentially over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. There was like another $120 million that wasn't really accounted for, that I'm not saying was stolen, but wasn't part of that brass. That's an acronym for the financial system the city uses. 120 plus million that the IG's office identified that was outside of that brass system. So it could have been spent inefficiently, fraud, waste, abuse, corruption, could have been big time with that 120 plus million. No, the office pays for itself. It's pretty impressive. And Metaire's office is weak, and St. Tammany doesn't even have an office. What a blunder. You St. Tammany residents, you want a CPA type scrutinizing how public money is being spent. That's all that office does. It's basically a bunch of CPAs that scrutinize how public money is being spent on public projects and the like. And if you think, boy, I live in St. Tammany, I feel our politicians are 100% honest and they're insanely efficient. As efficient as it gets, then I guess you don't need an office of Inspector General. St. Tammany's history, I'd be like, okay, our politicians aren't insanely honest. And there's a lot of inefficiencies in St. Tammany Parish government, and that would include how public money is being spent. No, I would embrace an IG. Artemis 2 is on its way to the moon with 4 astronauts on board. I'm going to be watching that. That's just great stuff. And in 2026, go online and watch that 24/7, 365. You don't have to wait on the news. 8 o'clock tonight, President Trump will address the nation on the Iran war. There were some reports that the old Metairie Tower condos were being auctioned off today. That auction isn't until May 13th. Hopefully someone with some wherewithal buys it, tears it to the ground, and redevelops that coveted 4-acre site on Metairie Road at Old Metairie. Enhanced traffic controls Easter weekend and Easter Sunday this weekend on Lakeshore Drive from West End to the Seabrook Bridge. So the obnoxiously loud music, drag racing, littering, crap like that will not be tolerated. Gas prices surging in Metro New Orleans and around the country. Ouch. Makes you want to drive less. Makes you want to drive less. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning can take care of the driving for you. They have absolutely free pickup and delivery, home or office, East Bank or West Bank. To get on the free pickup and delivery list, go online, youngsdrycleaning.com. youngsdrycleaning.com. Hey, we have a special guest joining us. There he is, Mr. Blue Boy. Blue Boy, a pleasure to have you on the program. Your accomplishments are known around the world. What are your thoughts for the listening and viewing audience as we fade on out for the day on this wide open Wednesday? Get outside, enjoy this weather, and have a wonderful evening. Blue Boy, you are so sweet. See you tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock, right here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.